What is going on? We have a lot going on, so let's get right to it. This is the Dare Show podcast. I want to dare you to look at things through a different point of view, a different perspective, which is my perspective. So, this past weekend, Janet Jackson, her documentary was released on Lifetime. I did a little review on that, but of course, I always forget some stuff, and some other stuff comes out. So, let's talk. So, first of all, congratulations, Janet. Cashed them checks in because she had 15 million views for her entire documentary on Lifetime. Shout out to that. That's really incredible. That's really, 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 really incredible. Too bad it wasn't 15 million views worthy. But anyways, so I forgot some stuff to talk about. I did mention, while Janet was doing her healing, getting, and then doing the Velvet Rope album, she talked about the demise of her relationship with Renee Elizondo, who was her husband, not her boyfriend at the time. Her husband was doing pills and picking at her body image, and Janet looked awesome, amazing. I did find, Janet, she did look kind of thinner during the All For You era. But that was right after, she, on the Velvet Rope, she looked kind of thick. Yeah, she looked really thick. She looked beautiful. The red hair, the thickness, the colors. I get so lonely. Can't just have anybody hold me. I love that song. She said he was like picking at her body image and stuff. And so it was, again, this like adding to this man is being destructive while I'm trying to heal myself and heal. Horrible. So then Jermaine, I found that to be her best relationship. Despite what she said, like they seem like they really loved each other. They seem like he really enjoyed her body. Right after Renee came along, he really enjoyed a black man. Ain't nobody gonna enjoy you like a black man. He really enjoyed her body. He really loved her body. He really loved her. But then it also seemed like this like weird thing. I think he kind of. I got it from. I kind of analyzed like this. I'm effing Janet Jackson, so I'm going to try not to let that go because it's Janet Jackson in a way, I kind of feel like. Which is weird. It's weird. But I do feel like that was like her best relationship. They were talking about marriage. They were talking about family. I wish she would have had a baby earlier. If she would have had a baby with him. Janet. The music was placed so nicely from at the end, talking about her baby. And it wasn't like necessarily we hear, I think the only like vocals we ever hear is like Control. Mostly it's like the instrumentals from the music. Shout out to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. But from Escapade at the end, talking about Issa. And then Tonight's the Night, when she was talking about the night of her marriage. Every Time was playing through at some like sad parts. So I was like, the music placement was very good. So here we go with this new revelation. So somehow some like information came up. I think it was recent that they asked Janet if she was a lesbian, who would she be a lesbian with? And guess what she said? Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys. Oh my God. And then Alicia had the nerve to respond and be like, I love you too, Janet. And it's like, child, they've been talking about you, Alicia. This does not help the lesbian rumors, Alicia. We're supposed to. Oh, shoot. We're supposed to. I mean, if you're not going to come out as a lesbian, don't even entertain this shit. And I think people just do it for the hype. Oh, Janet said she would fuck me. And it's like, oh, God. How embarrassing. This does not help the rumors, Alicia, of you being a stud on the low. But then people are saying Janet is a stud, so it's funny. I can see Janet being a lesbian. I can. I can. Okay, so anyways, let's move along. So, Christina Aguilera, I meant to talk about this last week, but I totally forgot. Her Spanish album, I was now putting things together. I'm like, the promotion for this Spanish album is off the charts. It's like number 2 on like the Latin American charts. The name of the album is La Fluenza? Fusa? Something. I'm not invested in listening to this album. I do like Spanish. I do like the Spans. I do like the Lats, but I don't understand it that much anymore. I can remember certain words from high school. Las Sacapuntas, El Salvador, Guatemala. I love saying Guatemala. La Puerta, El Baño, La Agua. What else do I know? La Puerta, Miércoles, Lunes. Um, yeah. El Mano. Is that the hand, right? El Ojos. 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. It's getting shady after that. Oh, man. Okay, so I do, but I'm not investing in because I can't. I'm not going to understand what she's saying. But like I did say, like a couple of weeks ago, like last year, when she released her Somos Somos Nada, her song Somos Nada, the gorgeous video, the fashion, the photography, the videography, everything gorgeous, the hair. They really put some work into it. And I think it's Rock Nation because her other like past 3 albums have not had this kind of promotion, this kind of visual to it at all. Well, the videos are pretty good. Christina puts out a good video. That's one thing. She'll put out a good video. The vocals, live, promotion, that might flop, fail, turn the other side. But Rock Nation, I believe she signed with Rock Nation in the last couple of years before this album. It's doing great. But I've realized, it's only doing that because the album came out. I didn't know it came out. I thought it was like coming out, but it came out and it's kind of died down. I saw some like great pictures, some iTunes charts. I saw Times Square pictures, like her up on Times Square. Incredible. Shout out to Rock Nation. I would sign with Rock Nation. I think people do have. I think it's the label people have issues with, but I think the what is it called? Rock Nation. The other part of Rock Nation where they do promotion and shit. The management side, I think they're very solid. Very, very solid. So shout out to Christina. I haven't seen much anything else after that. But she was doing promotion. Like Christina was doing a lot in 2021. Even before like the build up to this album. She was doing a lot. She was doing a lot. Shout out to Rock Nation. Dionne Warwick, I think she's almost 90. I don't know why she's still singing. It does not sound that great. But she's going to Vegas. I saw some interview with her. And she said she's going to Vegas in March, unlike Adele. But shout out to Adele because Easy on Me. Wait. Side note. I forgot to write this down. I'm so glad I remembered. So like Adele, people are going in on Adele. Why is this dude always standing outside at this time of day? It's very weird. Okay, but anyways, Adele is being called the Bird on Twitter. They're telling us Adele, she stopped, or they're blaming her Las Vegas residency ending or not being complete on her trying to be with her man, Roddy Ricch. And they're like, Adele, go get this Vegas bag. You're looking like a desperado. But anyways, Adele song Easy on Me is again number one. I think this is like the 11th week. Number one, 11 weeks on Billboard. And every time I say that, every time I think about that, I still go back to Adele talking about how she doesn't want to be a phenomenon, like how she doesn't want to replicate Hello anymore. That was too much for her. And I'm like, Adele, you're the phenomenon. But anyways, like I said that before, go back to that episode. Adele, honey, you're the phenomenon. So Adele, Easy on Me is number 7 on the R&B charts. I hate this. They need to do something about this shit. Because how can there be 7 white people on the Billboard charts, but we get like 2 or 3 blacks on the R&B chart? I mean, 2 or 3 whites on the R&B charts. It doesn't make sense. It frustrates me because it's like it doesn't give everybody the same opportunity. Easy on Me is not an R&B song. Adele does not sound like a black woman. Adele is one British person who does not sound black. Anyways, how do we have Adele number 7 on our R&B charts, but Ms. Ari Lennox, right? Ari, I think that's what her name is. Ari Lennox, new song that's been out for like 6 months, 7 months. It's been out for a very long time. It's just now hitting number 1 on the R&B charts. Make that make sense, right? So Dion, she's going back to Vegas. And of course Dion has some kind of shit to say. Dion is from the age where you if you wanted to play Vegas, you were on the last leg of your life. Like 60s, 70s, 80s. Vegas back in the day, thanks to Celine Dion, the queen of Vegas. Excuse me. Vegas back in the day was not the Vegas today. Vegas back in the day, like I said, was you're on your last leg. We're doing a residency out here. We're trying to, still stay a little bit relevant. Things aren't looking good. You pay debts out in Vegas. You're probably not making that much money, but you're still, trying to build something back up. Nowadays, Vegas is the attraction. You go, the casinos, the pretty much the celebrity, the famous singers' residencies, and it's like everybody: LL Cool J, Salt and Pepper, Christina Aguilera, Toni Braxton was one of the first people who I think did it also with Secrets. I think that's what the show was called. But anyways, so she was just like, Vegas isn't what it was, and the only thing I'm really excited about going back to Vegas is because they're building me a room. And it's like, all right, girl. She's such a Debbie Downer. Nick Cannon. We have some baby news. Are you ready for some baby news? With Nick Cannon. Shout out to Mariah. You picked a good one, girl, because he is on his 8th child. I don't know if this is 8th, meaning the baby that died is the 7th, or this is the actually newest 8th child. Mariah, you picked him. Wait, what are the lyrics? Oh, wait, let me look it up right quick. It's from Cruise Control. And it's funny. It's actually hilarious. Cruise Control, which has the lyrics, keeping up so much drama, 8 baby mamas. Wait, where is it? Can't get out of my head. Slipping through. I've been so. Oh, I've been told so many sagas. He brings the drama. 6 baby mamas. But I can't resist them. Just wanna kiss them. I need some cruise control. Cruise Control is off of the E equals MC squared album, and I think she was dating Nick Cannon at that time because they ended up getting married towards the middle of her putting out music. I think it was like right before Bye Bye and right after like Touch My Body. So it's funny that she and everybody, all the lambs are like, Mariah was telling, well, not the lambs, the funnier people. They're like, Mariah was, showing us her future. Nick Cannon with his 8 baby mamas. What a mess. What a mess. It's actually embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing. I thank God. First of all, my mom did not have my sister or any other like children more than, the 4 years apart that me and my sister are, because anything after that, when you get to like 6, 7, 8 years, it's a mess. Would you having a child again after 8 years? Like, what does that do? Oh my God. I can't. Secondly, thank God my father had no other children, which is a low-key surprising. I'm actually surprised. I think I've talked about this with my sister. I'm surprised my father did not have any other children. I don't know how that situation happened, but anyways, it's embarrassing to have, like a Rebe Jackson. Like Rebe said she was 16 when Janet was born. Like, that's embarrassing. Like, y'all still having kids. Come on now, close the shop. But then to have all these fucking kids, and it's just like, what is this? This should be illegal. Okay, this should be illegal. He should be fined for making a little cult. Like, this is disgusting. Shout out to Mariah. You picked a good one, girl. But you know what? I read... Oh, no. Wait a minute. Now, I saw this interview. I didn't see it. I heard this interview Mariah did, and she was talking about how the only reason why she would have kids or the only reason why she would get married is to have kids. She said it. I did it. I heard it. That's what she said. Those are verbatim of her words. I will only have a marriage. I would only get married in order to have kids. It's just like, what's the point? If it's all about like religion, you're going to get divorced anyways. So anyways, if it's all about religion, I did feel a little sad. A little like, oh, Rihanna, she's not sad. I thought Rihanna was going to like get married before she had a child, but that's none of my business. I'm going to stay in my place because Twitter, I found some of the same opinions that some people said on Twitter and people got red. But I kind of feel like I thought Rihanna was going to get married. But, people get married and they get divorced. But I'm just like, I feel like A$AP Rocky is such a random man. Like, where did this come from? Oh, shout out to Rihanna. She's having a baby. Did I say that? She's having a baby. Yeah. And it's always so funny, like, there comes a time when a celebrity woman has a child. But it's always funny that build-up that comes, like that last article that comes out, that last spotting that comes out before it's announced. I don't know if she announced it. It was on People magazine, so I'm guessing she did announce it. But yeah, A$AP Rocky. I don't know where that came from. It was weird. I know they dated, but it's still weird. Okay, so anyways, on to another baby news. Da Brat and Jessica are having a baby now. This was cool. Well, the one thing I did find weird about this was the headlines. Da Brat and I'm sorry, I messed it up. Da Brat and her girlfriend are expecting a child. No, Da Brat's engaged. They're supposed to be married, I think, today. 222? Yeah. 22. If you remember, if you watched the I hope they're taping this for their show. I really enjoyed the show. I didn't watch the last couple of episodes because I totally forgot. But I hope they're filming for this for the show. Because I would definitely watch this drama that is ensuing. My sister was telling me they didn't have a venue, but the date is today. Another, there's like a lot of like drama about Debrat getting married and her financial situation, not wanting it to be on. But like I told y'all, Jessica Dime has money. She's a millionaire. Jessica, write off half of that check in Debrat's name, send it over to the girl who she bashed in the head with the, bottle. Send that over. Call it a day. Debrat, work for the rest. But anyway, shout out to them. They're having a baby. I don't know if Jessica is pregnant because she doesn't look pregnant. Jessica says she lost weight, but I don't see it. I'm gonna just say I don't see it, Jessica. But shout out to you. Shout out to Debrat. Shout out to this marriage. Shout out to your fiance. They're not engaged. They're not girlfriends. They're engaged. Put some respect on that relationship. I'm gonna take a break. We'll be back. You could never see. It shines inside you. Can't take that from me. I have a tale to tell. Okay, welcome back to the Dare Show podcast. I thought after that little break, so the song of the week is a specific song. It's a specific song from a specific time. It is Live to Tell by Madonna. I've become obsessed with this song. I just can't get it out of my head. But it's specifically the Confessions Tour version. Her voice on this song is so strong. It's so powerful. It's so delicious. It's from her, I think her, I'm not even going to go there. From her earlier work in the 80s. It's a ballad. It's one of her number ones. The Confessions Tour, she's like hanging on a cross. One thing I learned about I watched the Confessions Tour, and she takes you on this like exhausting ride. It's like fun, and then serious topics, and then fun again, and then we're talking about Malawi, we're talking about like global health, and it's just like, whoa, girl. And then, we went on to erotica and then hung up, and then, the show's over. So it was just like, oh my gosh, it was kind of exhausting to watch it. Yeah, so Live to Tell is not on her Confessions Tour CD. I'm noticing most of Madonna's earlier live tour CDs, they don't have all the music on it. So I'm like playing, Into the Groove from Sticky and Sweet on YouTube. I'm playing music from, they took her first CD off of streaming, or at least off of Spotify. So I'm playing music and Holiday on YouTube. It's just a mess. So go listen to Live to Tell, the Confessions Tour version. Her voice is so strong. It's a great song. I didn't like it at first because lots of her 80s work sound like 80s work, and again, it's like the voice seems far away than what it actually seems far away from the music, or it seems louder. The music seems louder than the voice. And so it's difficult for me to like, okay, listen to this. Second of all, her earlier voice, she's not the best singer, especially at that time, or certain songs, but she sounds like she's whining. But I do love the musical aspect of the song, but which is missing. It's like this like guitar, dun, 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 dun. I'm doing it wrong, but this musical aspect of the part that kind of keeps me in there. It's not in this Confessions Tour version, so I'm very confused, but whatever. Go listen to the song. It's a great song. Anyways, let's go on to some controversy this week to end out this podcast. this episode. Whoopi Goldberg. Miss Goldberg has been suspended. They have a new like ABC director or somebody. I'm forgetting her name. Kim. Kim Gottlieb? Kim. Anyways, Kim said Kim is not playing. Kim has shaken some stuff up over at ABC and The View. She said Whoopi is suspended effectively immediately. I hope she takes this time to reflect on the things she said. What did Whoopi say? So they were talking about on The View, they were talking about what were they talking about? Give me a second. They were talking about how this one book shouldn't be is it's gonna be like banned from like schools, and they were debating like how this built up was kids are more accepting and more vulnerable. So if you say if they notice that their behavior is bad, they're gonna change it, or they're not evil, basically. They're not evil. And it's cool to be not evil. So Whoopi brings up, well, if you're gonna ban this book, that's not what the book is about. The book mostly, she just switched it over to like, she says the Holocaust isn't about race. And they were like, do it? Like a couple of people at the panel were just like, wait, what are you talking about? It was a pause. It really was a pause for a moment. And they're like, wait, what is it about? And she says, the Holocaust isn't about race. It's about humans. It's about man's inhumanity to man. I don't know what the fuck that means. And then they kind of were like, okay. I noticed, Whoopi has this like grand stature about herself, and she's very, don't mess with me, or she doesn't like to debate about her thoughts. She will get loud with you. And I don't think they want to get loud with Whoopi a lot. They try to respect her, I guess, and not go back and forth with her because she's 10 toes, 10 feet, 10 dreads down, standing on what her word is. And even afterwards, what's her name? Anna was like, no, we need to, teach the Holocaust, teach reality of what happened in schools. And Whoopi's like, no, we need to teach about how humanity, she said it again, like, I don't get it. Now, what do? I do partly understand. Overall, a lot of the injustices, a lot of shit that goes on in the world is based off of race. It is. Wait, why do I feel like I thought something different last night? Like the bigger picture is the bigger picture is no, it's not about race, but race and these, destructions and injustices and racism, it all ends up back at race. Whoopi. Um and people are calling her racist. I don't think Whoopi is racist. I don't think Whoopi hates Jewish people. Like Goldberg is a Jewish name. Whoopi is very loved by everybody, but I definitely think Whoopi is different. Her views are very different. It's very like the Raven Simone thing. We love this actor, we love this talent, but then you start opening your mouth and you're saying you're not black. Raven, she just, that was just one thing. And people just, and who didn't call her out on that? Oprah. Oprah, the dark skinned black woman, didn't call Raven Simone out on calling Raven black when Raven said she wasn't black. she's every race or whatever. Well, with that skin tone, you probably are every race. But anyways, so Whoopi definitely has I'm not gonna say distorted. She just has a completely different view on some things. And as I've watched on the show, she really does have a different view on stuff, different things. And it's just like, okay, whoops. You're still my favorite Sister Act. I don't know what to say. Is she racist? No. Does she hate Jewish people? Absolutely not. I don't think racist. I don't think Whoopi hates any race or any body, except for like every now and then, you ask her about Rosie O'Donnell, and she won't say Donald Trump's name. And it's funny because Rosie O'Donnell and Donald Trump had that thing, and Whoopi hates both of them, or doesn't like both of them. So she's suspended for 2 weeks. People are saying she should be fired. I was just like, no, I don't think she should be fired. She just has like a different view. I don't think it's probably insensitive to say that, but it's not like horrifying, horrifying information to say. It's a little insensitive to say that the Holocaust wasn't about race when at the end of the day it was. But if you're looking at a bigger picture, I can understand what she's saying. But at the end of the day, it is about race and how Hitler thought the Jews were a different race, and their luck was horrific towards him. And then, you end up killing millions of a race. And it's so interesting about Jewish people because I believe Jews are the only race and religion. So sometimes it's a little difficult for me to like put together and think about it. But it's very interesting. But also I do find this interesting that, Whoopi, The View and Barbara, when Barbara invited Whoopi over, Whoopi had been like kind of blackballed for like a couple of years. I think I meant to look it up, but I think she said some stuff about Bush, and she kind of got blackballed. And so Barbara in The View invited her over, and it was sort of like, we got you. So it's so interesting now that her view that got her on the show is getting her suspended. I don't know. Sometimes Whoopi is very harsh, and at times she doesn't talk about certain topics. She'll just sit there. I don't know. I like when Joy does moderate. It's fun. It's fun. I like when Joy moderates. I'm not even gonna lie. I do love those Fridays. What else do I want to say? Yeah, I don't think she has ill feelings towards anybody. She definitely doubled down. Yeah, like I said, she doubled down after Anna said kids need to learn about the Holocaust in schools. She did an apology the next day. She did an apology that night on Stephen Colbert's show. I didn't watch it. I don't really care. But she did an apology on camera the next day, which was Tuesday, because today's Wednesday. And she seemed like she didn't want to apologize. She actually kind of didn't apologize. She was about to say it, and like the next words were supposed to be I'm sorry, but she did not say I'm sorry. She kind of reworded it to make it seem like I just misspoke. We're moving on. But then they had this guy on, and she just looked uncomfortable, like talking to him. She looked exhausted, like, okay, you're forcing me to do this. Yeah, she looked like she was clearly reading, like her eyes are going back and forth. Whoopi. I don't know. But it's so interesting. People are calling her racist, but it's like, oh, now you get what racism is? I'm not saying this is a racist act. Definitely not. It's very insensitive. But somebody on Twitter last night was like, she should be fired because she's racist. And I'm like, oh, white people only get or understand something when it happens to them. Like all of a sudden, Whoopi's racist now that She's talking about white people, but y'all are racists, doing racist shit, but don't get it or don't want to cop up to it or change or you get what I'm saying. It's a mess out here. It's a mess. It's a mess out here. So let's move along to Miss Kelly Price. So Kelly Price, the singer, she is messy. Kelly Price did an interview with Vlad via Lunel, and Kelly says Kelly caught COVID in December, and there's like this big thing about where's Kelly Price. I think I talked about it, but Kelly Price is an interesting character. I was trying to like maybe blame it on her horoscope. Maybe it's just her environment. She's very like politically correct. She's always very politically correct. Let me start this. She caught COVID, and she said she died on the table. They had to resuscitate her, and it worked or whatever. I find her to be very dramatic and very politically correct. And it's so annoying to watch. It's ugly to watch, actually. At the end of the day, it's very ugly to watch because it's like, just say it, girl. Just say it and stop trying to sugarcoat shit. She said her sister tried to get conservatorship over her. Well, it wouldn't be conservatorship if you died. It would be she would try to get over your estate. Well, I guess it would be No, I think conservatorship is for like, yeah, it's for like people who aren't able. But she was able, so well, it would have been like she died, so it whatever. Anyways, she got she tried her sister tried to do it because Carrie married this younger man, and I guess the sister it came as a shocker to, I guess, to everybody, and I guess she didn't want her to marry him or whatever, or to get everything. That's what the basic thing was. She was like, I don't want him. Kelly said her sister. She heard her sister was saying, I don't want him if she dies. I don't want him to get everything, and it's like, okay, Kelly Price lies, but at this point, I think Kelly Price is telling the truth. Her sister did this like quick interview with Larry Reed live. I'm sorry, I always think Larry King, Larry Reed, and her sister looked guilty. Her sister looked like everything. She was saying everything a liar would say. She's like, no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't do that. Why would I do that? Come on, Kelly. She kind of was like talking like that. It was just like, okay, you're lying. You're lying. I do believe Kelly, but also then there's this like weird thing with Kelly where she was like, Luna was asking her, do you have a prenup? And Kelly's like, we have an understanding. So I'm like, they don't have a prenup. Just say that, Kelly. It's not that hard. And she always like I said, she always tries to be politically correct. She's like, Luna asked her a bunch of questions. A couple of them was like, how do you feel about Pat Houston? Pat Houston, as we know, is over Whitney Houston's estate. And it seems like she's greenlighting all these like documentaries and unnecessary music or weird unnecessary shit for the Whitney Houston estate, for in place of Whitney Houston's image. And she's like, well, Pat Houston was cool around me, maybe because I never like hung out with people, I only came to work. They never acted crazy or nothing shady ever went down. It's like, okay, Kelly. And then she says this again about R. Kelly. She's like, R. Kelly, we were like brother and sister. He never brought any like women, young girls around me. We were good. It was solid. We were like brother and sister, and he would fart in rooms with me. It was like I was like an older sibling to him. It's just like, all right, Kelly, you're so PC. You're so out of the touch. You're so not sure what's going on, but you have an opinion. When there's smoke, there's fire. You're not gonna. That's the other thing. She didn't really go out and say it right out and say it. There's innuendos. There's analogies. There's the whole piece. Kelly Price. Kelly Price is a mess. Kelly Price. Pray for Kelly. Pray for Kelly. My God, today. Anyways, tell me what you think about the topics on this episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Dare Show podcast. I am on Apple Music, Spotify. I'm on YouTube. I am on Anchor. That's where I record. Share the podcast if you like. You don't have to subscribe. Just share it or tell somebody about it. And hopefully you saw some different views today. I think that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening.